coaching has become such a popular business. The problem people face is sticking to a commitment that they've made for themselves. One of the hardest things to do is keep a commitment that you have to yourself, because when you make the commitment, that's one time that you made it. One day you just decided, I'm going to commit to this change that I want to have in my world. And then between that commitment and the time of action, there's a time that lapses. And so that motivation lapses. You can be a New Year's resolution. You say, it's January 1st, 2021. I look ahead at my whole year, and by the end of the year, I want to acquire this skill, or I want this body, or I want to have this style of movement. You agree and you say, I'm going to do it. And then a month later, February, March, the reason people stop, they fail to maintain their commitment, is because they failed to renew their motivation. It looks like they've made the wrong decision. They skipped workouts, they stopped eating right, they started to become more irritable, even though they said they were going to become more optimistic and positive. They stopped reading more books. They stopped something that was meaningful in the beginning of the year. And the reason that they stopped it is not what the reason that they think that they stopped it for. Oh, it just got too hard to stick to it. Well, it's because they're not motivated. They're no longer attracted towards the goal. So in reality, the name of the game to making a behavior change is to renew the well of motivation towards the goal. And one of those reasons that we can't renew our motivation towards a goal is, one, we don't know that that's what we need to do, that we need to be re-attracted towards our goal. So it's constantly put right ahead of us, and that becomes one of our top priorities. We get buried by this to-do list. Got to do this, 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 and we forget to put that thing back in the front and make it meaningful again. So when it's no longer meaningful and no longer out front, we're no longer motivated, and we have this conflict because we say, well, wait a second, a part of me really wants that goal, that thing that I really wanted to work towards, but this other part of me not only doesn't want that, I'm even confused why that's a good idea. I need to give up my comfort right now in order to do that. Maybe I'm comfortable on the couch, or I have a pizza in the freezer, or my friends are calling and I'd much rather talk to them, or I'd much rather surf Instagram or Facebook than read the book or do the activity. So there becomes this internal conflict of wants. Well, I kind of want this and I kind of want that. But really that bigger want, that broader goal for the year needs to be put back in front and re-attracted to, because it requires sacrifice. You're giving something up in order to get what you said was more important. But we lose that motivation, and we don't realize that we have to have a strategy for renewing this motivation. And so inevitably, we start to make the change, we fail to make the change, not knowing there's really a lack of motivation in some sense. And then we get burdened because we decide we made the wrong decision. Oh, I'm a failure because I made this wrong decision. Not only did you not make the wrong decision, you made the decision, but it's because you were no longer attracted. You no longer had the priority put out front. You were no longer attracted to what you really decided was meaningful to you. I understand that. I have failed at so many things, but there are just certain priorities that have lasted decades, that it's meaningful to me. And if I don't do it, I ruminate, I dwell. Man, why didn't I stick to that for this past year, or these past 5 years if I just would have, or this past 10 years if I just would have. It's those thoughts of if I just would have that you can use to put back in front of you and re-attract yourself towards that towards that goal. But it's understandable. We all do it, and it's really challenging. But the point is to put an end to it, to build into this future, and continue to do that. So you need some goal partners. You need some form of coach to help you. You need somebody who has done what you are trying to do, because they will know all the ups and downs along the way of trying to get to that ultimate summit. And that requires having a plan. That's why you need a coach. You need somebody who can guide you along the path, put it right back in front of you, talk to you about it, say just focus on this next target. Because ultimately, when it comes down to it, you made the commitment, you still have to take those actions. You still need a repetition record. Third time I did it, fourth time I did it, fifth time I did it, 17th time I did it, 25th time I did it. And just start to really fall into that. But each time you almost need to reinvigorate that motivation. Because another year, another 5 years, another 10 years can go by and you go, well, that was a waste. And then you look back and it just looks terrible back there because you never did it. You look ahead and you start to give up even before you get there. You say, oh, I'm not that kind of person. But there's a flip side to that. What you did behind you becomes a learned lesson that you earned. And you can use that to put your priorities back in front of you, recharge that motivation, and start to get to the action and the feedback. Because really it's about the feedback. Got to accept the feedback. Okay, what did I do well? What did I do wrong? It's not personal. And when you fall off, how much drama is that worth, really? All right, I didn't do it. Okay, put it back in front. So this way, by the end, you can really look back and say, I just did that for 20 years, and that was the best thing I could have done. Because when I look back, I overcame all of those hurdles. The days are long, the years are short. You look back over 5 years, what did you accomplish? Did you keep those promises to yourself? If you can get to that point where you start to build that trust and respect, you're on the right path. So when you fail to reach your goal, or you choose or you make the wrong decision, remember it might actually be because you weren't motivated or attracted to those goals or those priorities that you previously had stated that were important. So if you like this, please tune into my website, DominicSessa.com, sign up for my newsletter, go to my YouTube channel, find me on Instagram, sign up for my newsletter, and get these delivered to your mailbox. Take care.